Hey everyone, been a while since I've done any kind of a new camping video, and I thought I would take you along as I do a little poor man's overlanding. You haven't met, this is Simon, the squeaking Subaru. He is my 2004 Subaru Outback. I bought him from another Sam, and I have built him up quite nicely. The mods so far include lift springs from Primitive Racing. They lift him about 1/4 of an inch and add a great deal of extra spring rate to his spring, so it's heavier loaded. The other mods include a 1-inch spacer lift with an additional leveling lift in the back. Larger tires, these are about 2 inches wider than stock, and they're all-terrains. So all told, I'm about 2 inches higher than stock. It's not enough. I bottomed out so many times on the way in here. There were some real like butt-puckering moments for me. I have some minor electrical mods. I've done not as much as I'd like, but I'm working on them. Anyway, down here is Leela, my on-again, off-again Pibble. First time camping with her in a long time. And over there is my dinner, a steak. I have not done a steak dinner out in the woods in a long time. And I think I might take you on a tour of the camp. Say hi, Leela. Say hi, Leela. Time for the grand tour. This is real deal poor person overlanding here. I'm just using one of my backpacking stoves, rigged to a propane bottle. I've got a kitchen set and a knife set there. I've got a cast iron pan that has rusted in storage. Shame on me. I've got water, steak, salt, pepper, you know, the basics. Some idiot left this door open. In the back here is my sleeping bag and pad and Leela's bed and blanket. You know, pretty minimal. I've changed out all of the interior lights to LEDs so that way they don't use as much power. I can have like the hatch open longer amounts of time. Over here is the actual camp itself. Yeah, silly me, how did that get there? Anyway, this is camp. I have, well, a small portable fire pit. It's one of those smokeless ones. I'm going to see how it works. Chair I borrowed, cooler full of food, and action packer full of gear. It's going to be nice and simple. And I'm going to start by heating up some water to kind of temper my steak. Resting. I'm just gonna have a little beer, bread, and cheese. Got my little portable fire pit, smokeless fire pit going here, and just gonna have a small little fire and some quiet. Maybe update you a bit on my life. Since I last made a backpacking video, I've actually been out backpacking 5 more times, which is, you know, for a fellow with a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, that's an awful lot. I just haven't made videos with any of them because I just have been kind of enjoying having time to myself, and I got kind of burned out on the whole YouTube thing. No, it's good. I just, I don't know, had to realize I wanted to make things for myself again. And since I've come around to that, I've gotten more comfortable. But, I'm easing back into it, and I just needed a getaway. I've been working pretty much non-stop for about 8 months now, and I'm just feeling run down, and I needed to camp out. And even though I'd built up this poor man's overlander here, I haven't really had a chance to use it for the stuff I wanted to do. So I was kind of shaking down Simon a bit, trying to see what works, what doesn't. Already, he needs more lift, he needs armor. My next stop was to do a limited slip diff or a locking diff in the back, but no, he needs clearance. I bottomed out a couple of times. Not the best situation. Leela, come on. You don't have to hang out over there. Come on. Do you want your bed? Do you want your bed? Here's your bed. Here's your bed. You got water. You got treats. I got, well, bread water. I got treats. So let's just sit down and enjoy ourselves, Leela, okay? Funky, funky cheese. Just what I need. Over the course of this season, I changed jobs twice. I went back to doing home inspections for a little bit, then went back to writing service. I'm trying to start a business as a home inspector for myself instead of working for a big company. Simple truth is I'm entitled to the full value of my labor, and I get frustrated because, you know, a $1,200 job, I get, you know, 60, 70 bucks. I'm entitled to that. I did that work, you know. Anyway, that's what I've been up to. I'm just dealing with some depression. I've also been getting back into exercising regularly again, which has been kind of like my coping mechanism for managing my depression. Just doing dad stuff. I'm just keeping busy. I'm actually planning a series on building up Simon further. I think it'd be really fun to take you all along. Leela's back. She is not a happy camper, as you can see. She doesn't like being on camera. I can relate. She doesn't like traveling in cars. And she doesn't really like being any more than like 20 feet away from her bed. Sorry, our bed. Her bed is just there in case there's no room on our bed. Isn't that right? You're just a little bed princess. Just taking it in. So this is an area I've explored a little bit in a truck. And even my truck, which was rear-wheel drive, was still good on the clearance game. So I don't remember this road being this rough. But when you're in a slightly lifted, slightly taller than a stock wagon, you do feel every single bump. You do panic every time there's a pothole. It takes a lot of thinking, and I'm not used to an automatic transmission, so I don't feel like I have the best control of my gearing situation. I mean, I'm able to put it in first, which is nice. I'm glad I have one of the regular hydrostatic transmissions and not the CVT one. I feel like a CVT one would be constantly trying to go up and down and up and down, and just being able to pick a low range gear and stay in it is nice, but it's still a really tall gear relative to what I'm used to. And I also don't have a transfer case, which I had in my older four-wheel drive truck, and being able to drop into 4 low when you need to and just have more control. I miss that. So I mean, long term, if I want to keep this car forever, because not having a payment's pretty nice, I may have to look into a manual transmission swap and maybe sourcing the dual range transmission that they use overseas. Stuff to think about. As it is right now, it's absolutely quiet. There's some gunfire in the distance. Someone over there has some kind of rapid firing handgun, it sounds like. It's not that sharp crack of a rifle. It's a very bassier, duller sound. Other than that, I mean, I got a squawking stick and airplanes overhead, and that's really all I have going on right now. So there was no planning or preparation for this trip at all. I just grabbed stuff. All of my equipment is moldy, so I have to find camping gear that isn't moldy and improvise a bit. So not as prepared as I'd like to be at all, but it's nice getting out. This reminds me of like the improvised camping trips, overnight trips I would do with my buddy growing up, where we just like get off of work and be like, all right, let's go to the campsite, let's go camping. And it would just be like, we throw whatever we can into our cars, we get like cheap steak from the grocery store, and we just head out and we go someplace. And that's very much what this feels like. I mean, it's fun. I'm enjoying the improvisation of it, but there's some deficiencies I'd like to address too.
cabbage and cauliflower. Oh, come on, lad. What are you waiting for?
More rare than I wanted, but okay. Well, dinner is served. Lovely little top sirloin here, and of course, cosmic little thing from Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. Sierra Nevada, please sponsor this channel, and I will stop mailing you dead animals. Thought I'd have a nice little dinner, little man steak, as my friend and I used to call it. Got nice beer, nice meat, nice dog, good little campfire, Wallace and Gromit. Pretty nice. For the record, I don't normally eat like this. In fact, I don't really eat a lot of meat most days. If I eat like 3 portions of meat a week, it's pretty rare. But you know, camping, getting out for a little bit, treating myself, that's what this is. I'm gonna pig out on this. Catch you in the flip-flop. So we're all settled in here. Just getting ready to actually go to sleep. I caught up, just watch. Excuse me. I got just kind of caught up in watching the movie. I watched Wallace and Gromit, and then Paul, and it was a good time. So it's nice having quiet, chance to rest a little bit. Anyway, this is what sleeping inside of a more or less unmodified Subaru looks like. It's a bit crowded, but Leela and I are doing just fine. This is Samwise Outdoors. It's the YouTube channel with a difference. The difference is you should have just tuned into Mav. It's far from the least comfortable car camping experience I've ever had, so I'll take it. I miss the spaciousness of my T100, but I'm really happy exploring the wagon life for a little bit. Had a good dinner, had a couple of good beers, got good company. It's time to call it a night. Good night. Good morning. Slept pretty good last night. It was not the most comfortable. It's a little bit crabbed here. The shakedown's kind of given me a chance to think of how I want to take this build further, but for the time being, it does exactly what I need. Leela slept pretty good. I think it's time to get some breakfast going. And that right there is the downside of sleeping inside an old beater Subaru. There's no interior release handle to pop the hatch. Kind of an oversight in my book. Leela, you want breakfast? You want food? You hungry? Want to go potty? Do you want to go potty? Oh yeah, that's a yes. That's a yes. All right, Leela, come on. Let's go potty. Oh, you're pretty warm in there. That's good. There you go. And there you go, nice hot breakfast for you, Leela. And this cheap little portable fire pit did a good job last night. Everything's cold. Really only just little bits left over. So I'm gonna scatter these ashes and just kind of hide the mess. 20 bucks, well spent. Bacon here. We had a little nocturnal visitor here last night. Looks like a fox. Came by, checked out the camp, left us a little gift. Well, considering this poor skillet rusted in storage, it still did a pretty good job of being non-stick. A little bit of Louisiana hot sauce on these eggs. And now for some coffee. I forgot my AeroPress, so this time around it's Taster's Nasty. I'm just going to lean on the hood of my car because I already put the chair away and I don't have a table. A little too crispy for my liking, but I'll take it. Should have packed some beans. these actually turned out great. Yeah. Nice runny yolk. That hot sauce is fire. Coffee, bacon and eggs. Quiet countryside.